It was out of the natural organic life processes that evolution says intelligent life arose. Some trillions of years ago, all was caught up in a race to develop stronger teeth, sharper claws, and faster legs. That is until some point they reached a crescendo, where the legs couldn't run any faster, and the body of the dinosaur just couldn't get any bigger, nor the claws get any sharper, any more than the atoms of the sharpest blade could cut through other atoms of the same width. Creation, like water flowing from a spring, had ran the lush valleys until reaching an impasse. And here, at the limits of its creative capacity, life's creative energy built up like water at a dam, rising like the tide until bursting over its walls, resulting in the spontaneous evolutionary jump to the intelligent life we know today. So the limitations of teeth and claws were overcome by the use of spears and knives, and the limitation of legs to catch prey was outdone by the use of the bow and arrow. The defenses of the thickest skins and scales were surpassed by the building of the village wall, and primitive spatial intelligence by star mapping and navigation. Now we bear witness to mankind's ability to communicate across oceans with only a whisper, peer into space and time without our eyes having become any sharper, split the atom without a knife, defy gravity despite not having grown wings, travel at twice the speed of sound without any changes to our legs. Now we can dive to the depths of the sea without holding our breath, grow organs, alter genetic codes, and replace limbs with prosthetics. We can summon any text, picture, video, or audio ever recorded right into the palm of our hands. And with the flick of our fingers, we can create entire worlds in virtual reality. And with the same flick of our finger, we can push a button and blow up the world 10 times over. Never before has so much knowledge and power been within our grasp. Yet still the greatest medical advancements cannot completely ward off the common cold. And the biggest and deepest bunkers of all and drones of the sky still cannot secure the next breath. And now, it seems the very fruit of our creativity may indeed be the end of this natural organic order upon which our very lives are sustained. Today we find ourselves in a world that has been so centralized and organized hierarchically that our institutional bodies again resemble those of the dinosaurs. Through cumbersome bureaucracies, we have red-taped ourselves into a corner and made life itself an unbearable bureaucratic process of licenses, taxes, registrations, inspections, and fees for everything we do, from being born to catching a fish. We have built up a legal and social infrastructure with laws and rules more numerous than the laws of physics, infrastructures which hinder getting our needs met instead of enabling them. Our environment has become a resource, having no intrinsic value of its own. Our brothers and sisters have become human resources, and our relationships have become just as toxic as our water and air. The strong and the weak, the rich and the poor, the old and the young, and man and woman have no longer complementary roles, but opposing ones, where our differences are only found to have significance in the competitive edge or artificial sense of superiority they afford one over another. Woe! It is as if the order has been flipped. It is as if it were raining upwards and flowers were to be found pollinating bees. Yet it is not the natural order that is flipping. It is our human world and our artificial socio-political systems which are upside down and backwards. As the thickest scales and sharpest teeth once couldn't suffice, neither can all the knowledge and power of the world. It seems again life's waters have reached an impasse and have long begun their pooling. It is intelligence now which is reaching its crescendo. But where to next? I ask because the world is about to be destroyed by the passions and ignorance of the one species capable of real knowledge and playing an active role in how things unfold. Yet the problems we face are indeed merely human problems, the machinery of which could not even exist without the very gears turned by each of our participation. The real problem is mankind has lost sight of what it was all about. That certain sense of things that makes all the effort that it takes to exist worth it. And consequently, we have lost that certain sense of things that makes taking an active role worth it. And we have fallen victim to paths which prey on our passions and ignorance, paths prescribed by a cultural infrastructure and artificial order, which are not only not conducive to this certain sense of things, but are in fact its greatest obstacle. But while we sit with our family and friends in those dark, hypnotic theaters, watching actors act out what purpose and calling look like in a fictional scenario, watching countless movies about someone who has journeyed to some reward that they would embark on it knowing that they might not return, stories of heroes who have some boon so worthy of pursuing that they would pursue it even in the face of all accusation and tribulation. Whilst we sit in this dark contemplation, the context for the most worthy calling ever has unfolded right here and right now within the fabric of this moment, and we know it not.